Haggai, build the temple, Haggai 1:1 through 2:23. Part 1. Introduction. 1. In our survey of the minor prophets, we now jump ahead about 100 years. Prophets like Zephaniah, Nahum, and Habakkuk prophesied shortly before the 70 years of Babylonian captivity, approximately 605 to 535 BC. B. Following the return under the leadership of Zerubbabel in 536 BC, it was not long before two more prophets were sent to the people of Israel. 2. These two prophets were Haggai and Zechariah, the first of which we shall consider in this lesson. Concerning the man. 1. His name means festival or festive. 2. What we know of Haggai is limited to his book and references in Ezra. 3. Together with Zechariah, he motivated the Jews in rebuilding the temple. B. Concerning the message. 1. It is commonly dated around 520 BC, the second year of King Darius, Haggai 1:1. For the foundation of the temple had been laid shortly after the arrival under the leadership of Zerubbabel in 536 BC. Ezra 3:8 through 13. B. Yet opposition to rebuilding the temple stopped it for 16 years. Ezra 4:1 through 24. C. God then raised up Haggai and Zechariah. Ezra 5:1 through 2 and 6:14. 2. The theme of Haggai's preaching, build the temple. His message contains 4 separate proclamations. B. All within 4 months. Haggai 1:1, 2:1, 10, and 20. A word of reproof. Building the temple is long overdue. 1. Haggai takes the Lord's message to Israel's leaders. Haggai 1:1. Zerubbabel, the governor, who led the first group of exiles back home. B. Joshua, the high priest, also known as Jeshua. Ezra 2:1 and 2, 36, 40, and 3:2 through 8. 2. The Lord takes issue with what the people have been saying. Haggai 1:2 through 4. They have been saying the time is not right to build the temple. B. The Lord challenged them as to whether they should live in paneled houses while the temple lies in ruins. B. The people should consider their ways. 1. The Lord challenged them to consider what was happening. Haggai 1:5 through 6. Their efforts were much. B. But they received little in return. 2. To motivate them in building the temple, their trouble is explained. Haggai 1:7 through 11. They needed to build the temple and thereby glorify God. B. For their efforts to obtain much for themselves was frustrated by God. 1. They looked for much, but God blew it away. 2. While his house lay in ruins, they were busy building their own. 3. Therefore God had called for a drought on the land and its fruit. C. The testimony of the prophet is heeded. 1. With the leadership of Zerubbabel and Joshua, the people obeyed. Haggai 1:12. 2. The Lord promises to be with them. Haggai 1:13. 3. Stirred by the Lord, Zerubbabel and Joshua lead the remnant to resume work on the temple. Haggai 1:14 through 15. From Haggai 1:1 and 15, we can determine that it took 24 days for the people to begin rebuilding the temple. About a month later, Haggai 2:1, another message from the Lord comes by way of Haggai. A word of support. Are the people discouraged? 1. Haggai is sent again to Zerubbabel and Joshua and the faithful remnant. Haggai 2:1 and 2. 2. Those who had seen the formal temple in its glory are asked if the present temple appears as nothing in comparison. Haggai 2:3. The new temple evidently did not compare with the old temple built by Solomon. B. The Lord provides a word of encouragement. 1. The Lord encourages them to be strong, for He is with them. Haggai 2:4-5. 2. The Lord promises to make the glory of His temple greater. Haggai 2:6-9. A. By shaking the nations and having them come to the desire of all nations. 1. This can be translated, the desired of all nations will come, perhaps speaking of the nations bringing their wealth to the temple. Haggai 2:8 and Isaiah 65. 2. Many see a messianic reference in this phrase, though no reference is so made in the New Testament. Hebrews 12:26-27 does make an allusion to verse 6. B. By giving peace in this place. 1. Some see another messianic reference in this phrase. 2. Certainly Jesus, as the Prince of Peace, came to the temple. This ends part 1 of Haggai, Build the Temple.